Hey, how's it going out there today, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day. I want to come to you today to do the weekly recap. It's that time of the week, and yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because I'm delivering the load that finishes up the week right now. Should have delivered this load yesterday. Should have had another load picked up yesterday, and I should be in Chicago right now, but I'm in Maryland. What a bummer. That shortened my week by $1,800, I think that load was. Yeah, $1,800 back to Chicago from here. So the weather cost me $1,800. I had a load from Chicago to Atlanta lined up for Saturday into Monday morning, and that was another $3,000 that I'm out. So yeah, the weather's cost me $5,000 and a lot of sitting this week, not to mention added fuel costs. So I got here yesterday after they stopped receiving. I waited out the weather because it was very icy and slick over here. I got up, watched the weather, let it hang out for a couple hours, let the roads get in better shape, came over here, and they said, hey, we stopped receiving like 20 minutes ago. So what are you going to do? I had to drive way out to find somewhere to park for the night. Came back this morning. I'm a work in. I don't know, they've been open about 3 hours now. I finally got in the door, so that is what it is. And sometimes you deal with that. You know, it's winter. Everything's not going to go as planned. I mean, I don't know how many people watching this right now are going through the exact same thing with this winter weather. It's hitting hard. It's hitting furious. Winter waited around, and now it's trying to play catch up. I guess is what's going on in my experience, what I'm seeing. But it is what it is, and we deal with it. That's all you can do. So I did 2 loads this week. Started off my week on a back haul because I did 3 loads last week. So first load, I came out of Maryland, this exact same spot I was sitting in when I went to pick up my first load of the week. I don't know how many more of these I'm going to do, though, but this one's kind of burnt me a little bit. The first one was meh. This one was less than meh, so we'll see. We will just have to wait and see. So I left this spot in Maryland. I ran up to New Jersey. I had a 2-pick, 1-drop load. I picked up the first stop in New Jersey. Boy, did that take forever. Then went over into Pennsylvania, over to Lancaster, picked up the second stop, and then we were back to Minnesota. Went back to Hopkins, Minnesota on that one. That was 134 deadhead miles, 1,195 loaded miles, 40,000 pounds of produce at 35 degrees continuous on the reefer. And that load paid $2,600. So then, I went back to Minnesota. I took a day off, and then I loaded this load that I have now that I'm getting unloaded. That picked up in Minneapolis, and that came back down here to Maryland. Now, this load's 43,000 pounds. It's heavy. It's negative 10 degree. I got it on start and stop because it's like, stupid cold outside. So start and stop on negative 10. So yeah, that's that one. 10 degree. Negative 10 degrees. 10 miles of deadhead on that one. 1,116 loaded miles on that one for a total of 1,126 all miles on that one. So this was going to be a really good week. I mean, I'm going to still give it probably like a B, maybe a B minus, just because of the having to wait from yesterday to today. But this could have been a really good week because I got a day at the house in between the load from New Jersey to Minnesota, and then before I left out, I took a day at the house. And losing the $1,800, I would have been close to $9,000 with that $1,800. So even with a day off at the house. So but things, like I said, things don't work out. So let's get down to some numbers. Let's see where we're at for the week. So like I said, 2 loads, New Jersey to Minnesota, Minnesota back to Maryland. I am doing a different load up out of here. I got offered that same load, that 2-stop produce load from Jersey into Pennsylvania. I passed it up, and I'm going to tell you why I passed it up. Number one, the first stop there in Jersey is ridiculous. You stand there all day, and they load you right at the last minute when they know you can get to your second stop before it closes. But they don't factor in you got to go through Philadelphia. So I had to call the second stop and ask them, is anybody going to be there? Because I'm not going to be there. They close at 5. I said, I'm not going to be there till like 5:30. They had a guy stay over to 5:30 to get me loaded. They said that happens quite a bit when people come out of that New Jersey facility. So maybe they could call them and work on that. Who knows? But that's why I'm not taking that load back to Minnesota. Didn't pay that great. $2,600 out of Jersey back to Minnesota is pretty good rate. But then when you factor in the hassle of that first stop, and then it's got another stop on it, and then you factor in, I dodged tolls, and I still had $268 worth of tolls on that. When I first looked it up, it was like $388 in tolls on that load. So I went up into like Youngstown, cut down 30, took 30 all the way across Ohio and Indiana up into Valparaiso there, and then, dodged a bunch of tolls through Chicago. Did what I had to do to make some profit in that load. They were not making it easy with $388. Not to mention heavy load, multiple stops, not really good for your fuel. So yeah, that load really weighed on the week. If it hadn't been for that load, the load I'm taking back to Minnesota today is going to be a lot different. I'll tell you more about that next week. Be sure to subscribe. If you're not subscribed, you get these every week. Hit the notification, do all that fun stuff, hit the thumbs up, all of that. It's free. So go ahead and get it done. But let's talk numbers. Let's talk money. That's what we're here for. Talk the money. So, this week, that second load, by the way, this load down paid $42.50. I don't know if I said that or not. Paid $42.50. So let's see here. Hang on. I got some stuff written down wrong. Scratch that out. I had to recalculate my tolls on this load down because I went around Chicago tolls and I went around the Indiana. So had to rewrite some stuff there. Let's see. So $2,642.50 make a total revenue for the week. $6,850 for the week. And I'm on an 80-20 split with my carrier. So I get $54.80 of that, $5,480 of that. It was 2,455 total miles, all miles. That's 279 all miles. That is 2,311 loaded miles. And that's 296 a loaded mile. So almost $3 a mile still on the loaded. But we go by all miles, 279 all miles. 144 miles of deadhead in there. That's 6% of deadhead. And so let's talk some expensive. $945 in diesel. That's expensive for the amount of miles I ran, but I got horrible fuel mileage on, mountains and heavy loads and going around toll roads. It weighs on the fuel bill. But I will say I got some fuel on Mudflap for a really good deal in Illinois, minus my IFTA tax. You guys check out Mudflap, link in the description. I usually post the top comment as a Mudflap link, so check that out. It's going to save you a lot of money on fuel. So $945 on diesel, $131 on reefer, $49 on death, $434 stinking dollars to tolls. My God, ease up on me, Pennsylvania. I don't know. I think I'm going to stay out of this Maryland, Pennsylvania area for a minute. I am tired of these tolls. And $28 on scales. I had to reweigh the load I have now. And I'm not happy about that. It's a pretty standardized load, the way they load it. I went by what my little scale on my truck said, not by what my mind told me to put the axles when I looked at the load. And I had to rescale it. So somebody the other day said, it seems like you never rescale a load. Well, there's you one. I rescaled. And I'm still learning this trailer. Each pin on this trailer is worth about 400 pounds. Pins on trailers are not standardized. I know they teach you 250. Normally with a dry van, you're pretty safe saying 250 a hole on the tandems. But with a reefer, it can vary a little bit because they put the holes a little farther apart. Maybe your reefer unit weighs more. Maybe it's just a heavier trailer. Sometimes the axles don't slide up as far. So each hole is different. So I was testing that out. It looks like I'm at about 400 pounds a hole. So maybe not much rescaling in the future. And And yeah, so $25 in scale, or $28 in cat scales. One scale, both loads, rescaled one. So $15.87 in variable cost. God, that's a lot of variable cost. You know, and you got to imagine, like, okay, so on the way back up to Minnesota, I dodged about $120 worth of tolls. Same way on the way back down, I dodged I dodged a little over 100. So let's do some math on that real quick. If I dodged 120 and 100, my tolls would have been like $650 this week. That's ridiculous. So, anyway, variable cost, $15.87 variable cost. To the truck money was $5,480 minus the $15.87 variable cost. And that leaves me $3,893 to do what I've got to do with. And that's the week. That is the week in a nutshell right there. Not a bad week, not a great week. After looking it all over here, having to reschedule this load cost me a day. It cost me an $1,800 load, but I did get a day at the house. So weighing it out, yeah, I'm going to say about a C+, B- area on my ranking of this. So there it is, guys. Everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. If you could, like I said, hit that thumbs up if you made it this far. Think about subscribing. We do this every week. Good, bad, ugly, it don't matter. I do it every week. And thanks for watching. Take care of each other out there. Later.